Have you ever wondered why the most resilient women, the ones who seem unbreakable, suddenly vanish from a situation without a single word? It's not because they're weak or afraid. Oh, no, it's the exact opposite. Picture this: a woman who's faced storms that would shatter most people, yet she chooses silence over confrontation. Why? Because her quiet exit is her loudest statement of power. Stick around, because today, we're diving deep into why the strongest women walk away in silence. And trust me, by the end, you'll see it's the ultimate act of strength that leaves everyone else questioning their own moves. What if I told you that this silence isn't defeat, but a strategic masterpiece that protects her peace and propels her forward? Let's unravel this mystery together, and you might just recognize this in your own life or someone you love. Imagine a woman like Sarah. Names changed, of course, but her story is as real as they come. Sarah was in a relationship that started like a fairy tale, full of promises and passion. She gave her all, supporting her partner through career lows, family dramas, and everything in between. But over time, the red flags piled up: constant criticism, emotional neglect, and that nagging feeling that her efforts were never enough. Most people would explode in anger, demand explanations, or beg for change. Not Sarah. One day, she simply packed her things and left without a fight, without a goodbye note, just silence. Her friends called it running away, but Sarah knew better. It was her reclaiming her life. Why do strong women like her choose this path? It's because they've learned that words wasted on the unworthy only drain their energy. Silence becomes their shield, preserving their dignity and allowing them to heal on their own terms. But here's the twist: that silence echoes louder than any scream, forcing the other person to confront their own flaws without her having to point them out. Think about it: strength isn't always about being the loudest in the room. In fact, true power often whispers. Strong women have battled enough internal wars to know that engaging in external ones with people who do unvalue them is pointless. They've cried rivers in private, built walls of resilience, and emerged with a quiet confidence that says, "I don't need to explain myself to you." This isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's the realization that some battles aren't worth the victory because the cost to their soul is too high. Curiosity piqued. Good, because we're just getting started on how this silent strength reshapes lives. Let's explore the emotional layers behind this choice. Strong women aren't born with this ability. It's forged in the fires of disappointment and growth. From childhood, many learn to suppress their voices, to keep the peace, maybe in a dysfunctional family where speaking up led to chaos. As adults, they carry that lesson forward, but with a twist. Silence now serves them, not silences them. It's a tool for self-preservation. When a strong woman walks away quietly, she's not avoiding conflict, she's transcending it. She's saying, without words, "I've outgrown this," and that outgrowing process, it's filled with unspoken pain, reflection, and a fierce determination to prioritize her well-being. Ever felt that pull in your own heart? That moment when you realize staying would mean betraying yourself. That's the spark of silent strength igniting. But why silence specifically? Why not a dramatic exit or a heated argument? Because strong women understand the power of mystery. By not explaining, they leave room for the other party to wonder, to reflect, maybe even to change. It's like dropping a pebble in a pond. The ripples spread far beyond the initial splash. In toxic friendships, draining jobs, or unfulfilling relationships, vocalizing every grievance often leads to defensiveness, gaslighting, or worse, empty promises. Silence cuts through that noise. It forces accountability without her having to enforce it. And emotionally, it's liberating. No more justifying feelings to someone who doesn't care. Instead, she channels that energy into rebuilding new hobbies, deeper connections, personal triumphs. Isn't that intriguing? How one act of quiet can spark a lifetime of loud, vibrant living. Now, let's paint a picture with another real-life example. Meet Alina, a high-powered executive in a male-dominated industry. She climbed the ladder through sheer grit, facing sexism, backstabbing colleagues, and impossible deadlines. When her boss undermined her one too many times, passing her ideas off as his own, Alina didn't storm into HR or blast him in a meeting. She updated her resume, networked discreetly, and secured a better position elsewhere. Her departure, a simple resignation email, no fanfare. Colleagues were stunned. How could someone so formidable just leave without a fight? But Alina knew fighting would tarnish her reputation and drain her spirit. Her silence was strategic, preserving her professional image while opening doors to opportunities where her strength was celebrated, not challenged. This is the essence. Strong women walk away in silence because they have mastered the art of timing. They know when to hold them, when to fold them, and when to walk away with their head high. Emotionally, this decision is a rollercoaster. There's grief for what could have been, anger at the injustice, but overriding it all is a profound sense of empowerment. It's like shedding a heavy coat in spring-sudden freedom. Strong women feel every emotion deeply, but they process it internally, turning pain into purpose. Curiosity building. What if this silence is actually a form of communication that's more effective than words? It speaks volumes about boundaries, self-respect, and the refusal to settle. In a world that glorifies confrontation through social media rants or reality TV blow-ups, choosing silence stands out as revolutionary. It's not passive. It's proactive protection of one's mental health. Delving deeper, let's consider the psychological side. Experts in emotional intelligence, think of concepts from books like those on resilience and boundaries, highlight that high EQ individuals often opt for nonverbal exits. Why? Because they've developed the self-awareness to recognize when a situation is no longer serving their growth. Silence allows them to detach without drama, maintaining their inner peace. It's a sign of maturity, not meekness. Strong women have likely been through therapy, self-help journeys, or life lessons that taught them not every hill is worth dying on. By walking away quietly, they're modeling healthy behavior, perhaps inspiring others to do the same. Ever noticed how, after such a departure, the void left behind reveals the true value she brought? That's the emotional curiosity, hook wondering what life looks like on the other side of silence. But hold on, isn't there a risk? What if silence is misinterpreted as cowardice? Strong women anticipate this, but they don't let it deter them. They've built an unshakable self-worth that doesn't rely on external validation. In fact, the misinterpretation often backfires on the accuser, exposing their own insecurities. Emotionally, this choice fosters growth. It encourages introspection. What did I learn? How can I avoid this next time? It's a cycle of continuous improvement, turning heartbreak into hard-won wisdom. And the curiosity, it keeps pulling you in. What secrets do these women hold that make them so resilient? Shifting gears, let's talk about societal expectations. Women are often conditioned to be nurturers, fixers, the ones who stay and make it work. Walking away challenges that narrative. It's a bold statement. I choose me in silence. There's no room for society to label her as difficult or emotional. Instead, her quiet strength commands respect, even if it's belated. Think of historical figures or modern icons who've done this. Women, like those in quiet revolutions, leaving oppressive systems without fanfare, only to thrive elsewhere. Their stories fuel emotional curiosity. How did they summon that courage? What inner voice guided them? Now, imagine applying this to your life. Suppose you're in a friendship that's turned one-sided, where your support is taken for granted. A strong woman wouldn't ghost dramatically, but would fade out silently, redirecting her energy to reciprocal bonds. The emotional payoff. Deeper, more fulfilling connections. Curiosity spikes here. Could this be the key to unlocking your own potential? By not engaging in futile arguments, she avoids the emotional hangover of regret or resentment. Silence becomes a balm, healing wounds faster than confrontation ever could. But let's not sugarcoat it. The journey to this mindset is tough. Strong women have faced rejection, betrayal, and self-doubt. Each silent walkaway is a culmination of those experiences. It's emotional alchemy, turning leaden pain into golden self-assurance. What if I revealed that this silence often leads to unexpected comebacks? Like boomerangs of success, new loves, career highs, personal breakthroughs. The curiosity is endless. What's next for her? Exploring further. Consider the role of intuition. Strong women trust their gut implicitly. When it whispers leave, they listen without needing to justify it aloud. This inner knowing is honed through years of listening to themselves over others. Emotionally, it's empowering, reducing anxiety and second-guessing. Silence amplifies that intuition, creating space for clarity. Intrigued? Think about times you've ignored your instincts. Regret follows. Strong women avoid that by exiting quietly, preserving their emotional bandwidth for what's truly worthy. In relationships, this dynamic is especially poignant. A strong woman won't beg for love. She'll recognize when it's absent and depart in peace. Her silence says, "I deserve better," without uttering a word. The emotional depth here is profound, grieving the loss while embracing hope. It builds resilience, making future connections stronger. Curiosity draws you in. How does she find the strength to let go? Professionally, silent exits prevent burned bridges while opening new paths. Strong women network subtly, leaving on good terms outwardly, but internally, they're laser-focused on advancement. Emotionally, it's a mix of disappointment and excitement, fuel for ambition. What secrets lie in this approach? It's the art of graceful detachment, turning potential setbacks into setups for success. Friendships aren't immune. When bonds fade or turn toxic, a quiet withdrawal maintains dignity. Strong women value quality over quantity, emotionally investing where it's reciprocated. The curiosity. How does this selective silence create unbreakable inner circles? Family dynamics add complexity. Strong women may distance silently from dysfunctional patterns, protecting their peace. Emotionally, it's bittersweet. Love remains, but boundaries prevail. Intriguing, right? How balance is achieved through unspoken resolve. Culturally, this varies. In some societies, silence is revered as strength. In others, it's misunderstood. Strong women navigate this, adapting while staying true. Emotional curiosity peaks. How do they thrive amid contradictions? Ultimately, silent walking away is self-love manifested. It's choosing peace over chaos, growth over stagnation. Strong women embody this, inspiring us all. Emotionally, it's transformative, turning vulnerability into victory. As we wrap up, remember, the strongest women walk away in silence because they've learned that their worth speaks for itself. It's not weakness, it's unparalleled strength. If this resonated, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more empowering insights. For your next video, visit the channel and dive into our latest on unleashing your inner resilience. 8.8 Essay